Hey guys, Brad Gilmore here. Want to give a big shout out to our title sponsor, Walker Texas Lawyer. If you or a loved one have been injured in an accident, whether that be a car, truck, motorcycle accident, or some kind of other issue, hit up Walker Texas Lawyer at 713-552-1117 or walkertexaslawyer.com.
Oh, Brad, what have you done now?
Broadcasting live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. TV host, best-selling author, and radio personality Brad Gilmore brings you a collection of conversations with stars from movies.
Matthew McConaughey.
Brad Gilmore.
Mark Wahlberg.
Hey, how are you?
The legendary Mr. Christopher Lloyd. Christopher, how are we doing?
I'm doing good. Great introduction.
Jessica Alba and Lizzie Mathis. Ladies, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Kevin Costner joins us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Television.
Jimmy Fallon joins us this morning. Jimmy, how you doing, my friend?
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brad, for having me. I appreciate this, bud.
Kelly Ripa.
Brad, thank you for having me.
Comedy.
Jay Leno joins us. Jay, how you doing?
Hey, Brad, what's going on?
Chris Tucker is in the building. Chris Tucker, good morning to you.
Hey, Brad, and good morning to you. How are you?
George Lopez joins us right now. George, how are you doing, sir?
Good morning.
Music.
Lola Monroe.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
The legendary frontman of AC/DC, Brian Johnson, joins us right now. Brian, how you doing?
Good morning, Brad. What lovely to talk. You me funny lad.
Megan Trainor.
Thank you so much, Brad. You're awesome.
Chloe Bailey joins us. I appreciate the time.
Appreciate you.
And more. This is The Collection. Now your host, The Boat.
Brad Gilmore! And she's joining us right now, an Emmy-winning comedian. She's on the road. She's got a brand new comedy special out on YouTube called My Life on the PTSD List. It is the one and only, the incomparable Kathy Griffin joins us this morning. Kathy, how are you?
Brad, I'm very glad to be talking to you. I'm also back on the road in a tour called New Face, New Tour. Don't judge me, Brad. Don't judge. I can feel you judging me through the lines here. And I'm going to be in Dallas, April 10th at the Majestic, Nashville, April 12th at the Schmarmorhorn. I don't know how to say this. What the hell? Who booked me here? Anyway, it's a fancy symphony center, but go to kathygriffin.com for tickets. I mean, I've been around so long, Brad, I can't even pronounce the theaters anymore. Now I'll probably get fired.
Well, you know what? You have been around a long time, but it's a testament to your abilities, because I remember back in the day, my folks said they saw you at the Laugh Stop, and it was like the best show that they ever saw back in Houston. So you on tour, that's what people need to go see. New Face, New Tour. Now, are you working on, is this a new hour you're putting together? Because you just had the special come out. What can people expect if they come to the show?
Well, first of all, you should know that I've had more stand-up comedy specials than any comedian, male or female, living or dead. So this is the YouTube special, My Life on the PTSD List, is my 21st stand-up special, but the tour is all new. So you're not going to see anything you saw from the special. It's all new. And I called it New Face, New Tour because I got a new facelift. And I talk about it, but I talk about other stuff too. And I'm going to go in hard on Trump too. I'm tired of his nonsense. And so I'm going to make fun of people, places, and things. Nothing is off the table. Brad, you know how I get. I'm going to get in trouble. We both know it.
We're aware that you're going to get in trouble. I had a feeling that was going to happen on this tour, but you know what? Good trouble, right? Always into some good trouble sometimes. When you talk about...
You got to make good trouble. I'm going to be 65 for crying out loud. What am I waiting for? What am I going to be safe at this point? I'm getting worse. If you think I used to be a bad girl, I'm a worse old lady. Don't mess with me, because here I come.
Well, let me ask you this, though, because you say 21 specials, more than any other comic before. So you're kind of the opposite of Jay. Yeah. Jay Leno's famously never put out a stand-up special because he doesn't want to burn through all the material. You have to come up with a new hour after a new hour after a new hour. How are you able to do that? How are you able to consistently put out that amount of specials?
Well, first of all, I don't do an hour. USOB. I do 90
minutes.
And second of all, it's easy. And I'm prolific, if nothing else. No, I'm teasing because I love Jay. I actually just did a benefit with Jay last week, and he's doing great, and his act was really funny. But Jay, we couldn't be more opposite. We're friends, but he's always given me crap about not being clean. He's like, why aren't you working clean? You'd be doing corporate gigs if you were clean. And I go, because I'm dirty, Jay. I'm dirty. That's what it is. I'm dirty. I'm blue. I'm inappropriate. I speak truth to power. I just met former Vice President Kamala Harris last week, and she goes, you know what she said to me? Don't take no, and then S word, SH word. I won't say it. But I thought it was great to hear from a vice president. She said, I love that you speak truth to power. And then she said, don't take no, and then the four-letter SH word. And so that gave me a little bit of a jolt. So I'm not holding back. Why should I? People pay their hard-earned money to come see me live, or they're spending their time watching me on YouTube. Then I want to give them something worthwhile. So I'm not going to stop getting in trouble this time. That's for sure.
Well, like, to me, comics, right? Comics are to me, should be the ultimate protected class. And I know you've probably heard this argument before, but speaking truth to power, holding the mirror up, making us think a little bit more and laugh at the same time. I feel like that's the ultimate art form when you're up there on a stage just by yourself, able to elicit such emotions.
It's our job. I mean, if I had the opportunity one time, I'm going to name drop, but I was friends with Joan Rivers, and she took me to on a trip with her because she was good friends with King Charles and Camilla, the whore that he married. And so, who I got along great with, by the way, and she's also very naughty. And so I got to meet Chuck, and he said to me, if it weren't for newspapers and comedians, who would keep us honest? And I said, especially in your case. And he laughed. And so it's called punching up. You know what I mean? If I make fun of the president, whether or not I think he was duly elected, which I don't, but don't get me started. Or if I make fun of a Kardashian who can buy and sell you and I 10,000 times over, that's called punching up. So I'm not on stage to make fun of people that are disenfranchised or people that are getting beaten down in life. I'm making fun of myself. I'm making fun of situations. I'm making fun of the news. I'm making fun of a celebrity party that I went to and I got in trouble because somebody was angry at me about a joke. You know, it's whatever comes up. I also change my material up a lot. So whatever will be going on in Houston at the time, or, you know, like I said, whatever city I'm going to on the New Face New Tour, I'll talk about what's ever going on in your city too. Because like I said, nobody is safe, not even my own audience. I'll make fun of my own audience right to their faces. And I have many faces.
Well, yes. And the New Face New Tour, tickets available at kathygriffin.com. Make sure you go check that out. You know, last year, you performed at Carnegie Hall. It was the 6th show, I think, that you had there, and you broke the record of shows at the same venue by a solo comedian set by Joan Rivers, the one you mentioned a minute ago. And I think Joan is one of the all-time greats in comedy, in pop culture.
All
She's
time.
incredible.
All
I mean,
time.
I don't know anything about fashion, but I would watch the Fashion Police. When you were on there, when Joan was on there, it was so much fun to watch. I enjoyed that as a viewer. What was her influence on you?
Oh, so much. You know, we would have dinner all the time and lunches and talk on the phone and complain about the same stuff. And, you know, we talked about misogyny enough and how it was so hard for her on the come up and how, you know, she was still doing Fashion Police when she was, I think, 78, you know, and that's one of the great things about Joan is she always persevered and she had such resilience. She went through everything and was always still laugh out loud funny and always fearless. And I was friends with Don Rickles as well. Oh. And Rickles would tell me stories about celebrities that would come up to him and say, I don't want to be in your act, or don't make a joke about me on a talk show. And, you know, he told me this great story about the great actor Gregory Peck telling him that one time. And I said to Rickles, what'd you do? And he goes, go harder. Go harder next time. And so that's why I'm so... how shall I say, problematic, because my stand-up comedy parents were Joan Rivers and Don Rickles, and I can hear them in my ears saying, go harder, go harder.
You know, and Don is another one up there with me with Joan. I'll just go watch his old appearances on the Tonight Show with Johnny and making fun of Frank.
Still funny.
Still kills today, because it was the fearlessness. Yep. And you have to be fearless to be a comic, I feel like, especially, you know, these last 5-10 years, you know, you're probably the best example. You have to be able to say whatever comes to your mind on stage, because you need that fearless energy in order to do what you do at such a high level.
Yeah, you can't be afraid to get canceled. And take it from me, because I'm literally the most canceled celebrity ever in the history of cancellations. You can still come back, and as long as you stand your ground. And, I'm talking about my own issues with the Donald right now, but, I've known Donald for 35 years, I think. I met him in the late 90s. And, if I would have crumbled after that whole incident, I wouldn't be talking to you today. And throughout that whole incident and getting blacklisted and investigated by the Department of Justice and being put on the no-fly list and not being able to work and stuff, it was just a matter of time. But it's just important that no matter what you're going through your life, to keep fighting. And that's what I think we do learn from the Joan Rivers and the Don Rickles. And when people are, say like, that pain in the ass Ellen, when she's like, oh, well, they weren't funny, they were just mean. Shut up, Ellen. They were legends, and they taught people to persevere and keep going and doing it through laughter. And sometimes you have to be kind of inappropriate to shake people up.
I think that's to me the whole idea is being appropriate, find where the line is, cross it, make people think. And you know what? When you make people uncomfortable, maybe with a joke, it also makes them, I don't know, it makes everything a little bit looser. It makes the room looser. It makes conversations able to open up, because they might have said, you might say something on stage that night that causes a conversation in the car on the way home that could change perspectives. I don't know if, obviously your goal is to make people laugh, but through laughter, people obviously open up their minds and they end up thinking and talking about things.
Well, sure. Look at the great George Carlin. We can think of his bit about the 7 deadly words.
Right.
Those are still the same words you can't say on TV today. And when he would say that list and say all the words and how silly it is that you can't say them compared to the other things that are going on in the world, that stuff still resonates. So those were the greats that I grew up loving, not the Ellens, the milquetoast bland, but the Pryors and the Carlins and all the women, Phyllis Diller and Moms Mabley and Toady Fields. And there's finally so many more women now, but it's still pretty rough out there. Most people still want to go see Rock or Chappelle, and those guys are masters. But, give us girls a chance, and I promise I'll make you laugh.
Oh, 100%. KathyGriffin.com is where you can find tickets where she's going to be available. She said she's going to be in Dallas and touring all around. New special, My Life on the PTSD List. Now, you know what? We're talking about like Johnny, and Joan was so great when she was on Johnny's show. Don was so great on Johnny's show. But the late night talk show has shifted. It isn't the career launcher that it once was. Those are now with platforms like YouTube or podcasts or things of that nature. And you seem to embrace that. Where some people think, oh, no, you know what? Don't embrace the new. Keep with the tried and true. But you seem to never be fearless in order to embrace the new, whatever that might be.
Well, look, no matter how old I get, I have to be up on whatever is going on. And that's one thing I learned from Joan as well. Joan Rivers always knew what was in the zeitgeist in the pop culture. And so I'm always up on news, pop culture, crazy stories from my own life, crazy stories from somebody else's life. And if people are going to YouTube more than television and streamers, then that's where I'm going to go. I still love doing television when I can. Most of the shows I'm banned from for various reasons that are absolutely, totally my fault. But, I still do some of them. I still do my good friend Jimmy Kimmel, who never canceled me. And some of them I'm still banned from. And by some, I mean most. But like you said, there's YouTube and everybody knows how to, all you do, put in the name Kathy Griffin in the search engine, and you're going to come up with either a special, or you're going to come up with my YouTube weekly show, or something I'm on, or maybe even me on somebody else's show. And that's what I like about it. So if that's where people are going, that's where I'm going to go. And then live is the thing that will never die. Like, right. As much as we talk about social media taking over, I understand that. I'm on social media too, of course. But the experience of coming to see a comic live in a nice theater where people are paying attention, they're not ordering drinks, they're not heckling, but they're actually like listening and sharing an experience together of just laughing and blowing off steam and being inappropriate. It's a bonding thing. And you're right, you go home and you have a different conversation in the car. So I love it if I can make somebody laugh and talk at the same time.
Well, you know what? You're going to do it. New face, new tour, My Life on the PTSD List, KathyGriffin.com. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Congratulations on everything you got going. Can't wait to see you on the road.
All right, Dal. Thank you, Brad. You're a doll.